Well, here we go. We have game 8 here in finals weekend. So I'm just adjusting my headset. Sorry if that's making noises like a rummaging hamster. And Alfas in the field. Alfas to bowl. Badalona are batting. Well, here we go. Now, Badalona looked very good yesterday, but first match of today they faltered and stuttered. And Alfas yesterday had a couple of performances. They looked very poor first thing and then looked very good later in the day. Let's see what happens today. Nice little dot ball to start. We'll just confirm which of the batsmen this is, because Baba and Bilawal and Dilawar all look fairly similar when they're under a helmet like that. I was flattered when Baba came up to me in the commentary position yesterday and greeted me. He said, "Tim Ames," as if I was a celebrity. It's lovely to see him. I haven't seen him for a couple of years now, from when I was up in Barcelona for the Barcelona T10 tournament for ECL. So lovely to see Baba, but I don't think that is Baba under there. I think that possibly I'll stop guessing. I'll tell you when I know exactly. I know it is Baba under there. So Jake Sunderland comes in again. That could well be. I spent ages identifying him. I don't really need to identify him because Baba has gone. He has spooned up the softest of soft catches into the ring. Taken at point there. I don't have a replay, obviously, and I didn't see who took the catch, but it was the easiest of catches. So Jake Sunderland has taken a wicket. Baba trudges back, as well he might. It was a very soft dismissal. It just got a bit big on him, and he helped it into the air. I'm sure Martin's already told you, if you're watching around the country or watching from another country, it is a glorious day here on the Costa Blanca. Three large, go on, walk in front of the camera, chaps, go on. Three very large, imposing Sporting Alfas legends walk in front. Yeah, glorious day here in Albia. Literally metres from the beach. There's a lovely breeze coming in off the sea. The sunshine, as you can see, is great. There is not a cloud in the sky. It's the first week of November. We are blessed. It's the ideal weather for cricket. It's the ideal weather to be alive. So Jahangir Hassan is the new batsman. And works that well over pitched on leg stump, and he says, "I'll have that. That's a nice way to get off the mark." 4 runs. It's already across the boundary down there. A very nice, gentle welcome to the crease, that one. So just to give you the field, during the power play only 2 boundary riders, and they are mirror image of each other. I'll just tell you after this ball, which looks to be a wide. It is a wide. Yep, we've got the offside sweeper over on the cover point boundary, and we've got a man on the mid-wicket boundary. Those are the 2 boundary riders. Everybody else is inside the circle. Oh, big swing and a miss. Dot ball's been a good over apart from that one that strayed onto leg stump. Good start from Alfas. Obviously Alfas are going to need to win everything if they stay in with a chance of winning anything in this competition. But the destiny is not entirely in their hands, because they should not have lost yesterday if that's what they wanted to do. So it's completely over. It's a fuller ball, a big thick outside edge, goes over the slips. A moral victory for the bowler, an actual victory for the batting side. The score goes up to 9. That is the end of the over. So a very good over apart from that one that strayed onto leg stump. Nice wicket, important wicket of Babakan. He can get away very quickly. He likes to hit the ball very hard on the leg side, and all he did was hit it very soft on the offside. Looks like Quinn is marking out this run up now. No surprises with the opening bowling attack from Alfas. This is the openers, the two openers they used yesterday. The field changes around for the left-hand batsman. Which is Malik. Malik Matthew Rehman has yet to face a ball in this tie. Watched all proceedings from the non-striker's end in the first over. Hunched, quite squat stance. Goes for a very theatrical hook shot, and the ball just passes through to the keeper. The umpire says that was a bit leggy for me, chaps, and extends his arms to the scorer, and 1 is added to the total. It's a long-winded way of saying that was a wide, wasn't it? God, I like the sound of my own voice at times. Thank you, Martin. A cup of tea has appeared. Real tea, real men's tea, as opposed to that mint tea that other commentators might be sipping on. Mint tea. Is life long enough to waste time drinking mint tea? Discuss. But at another time, Quinn is already back at the top of his mark, and he comes again. That's a lovely, lovely ball. He fancies it. The umpire says, right in front, on your way. Good line to the left-hander. And did I use the expression cock-a-hoop earlier? Because Alfas are definitely cock-a-hoop now. Replay. Yep. The Alfas players who aren't actually involved in this match are doubtful whether that was a good decision, but it's been given. It's been given. Look at the book. So, good start from Alfas. So, was that the end of Quinn's over? Or no? I lost track of where we were there for a second. The scoreboard is running a little bit behind, as these things can do. That's in the air, and it is. Oh, straight to extra cover and straight out again. That is a let off. the big fella, is that Dillawell, who's just come in. Yeah, Billowell that was. Offered the chance to extra cover, gets a life, also gets a single. That's well fielded for a dot. Alfas, despite that drop in the field, are looking very bouncy and enthusiastic. There were lots of people backing up there. They're up for this one. They are up for this one. Oh, that's airborne as well. And almost reaches the man on the backward point boundary, but one bounce and returned just for the single then. Means Billowell back onto strike. He's a fine figure of a man, isn't he? That's how I like my cricketers. He's no stranger to a biscuit, is he? That's a lovely authentic little push. It was a fuller ball, Yorker length, just pushed out into the offside. The batsman trot through comfortably for a single. It's the end of the over. Little something for everyone. Two wickets have gone down. Could easily have been 3 wickets. Will Alfas rue that drop? There's another change of bowler coming up. This is Darren Walker. We saw him yesterday. Right arm over. It's a lot of bounce for a shortish man. Just back of a length, through it goes, dot ball, great start to the over. I think I mentioned yesterday, if you were listening to the commentary yesterday, that in the fuller length, in the longer length of the game, Darren bowls economically. He's back of a length, just on that full stump line is his favoured stock delivery. Very hard to get away. But he's dropped that one in too short, and he's got away with that. Well, it's a wide. It's a wide. He doesn't like the fact it's a wide. If he doesn't like the fact it's a wide, he should have bowled it nearer to the stumps. But shorter, quicker, and he's still shaking his head as if he's been wronged. In he comes again. He's going to have to bowl that one again. Digs that one into the pitch, and the umpire again says that's a wide. Walker is very unhappy. It's exactly what he's trying to bowl, but the umpire's having none of it. What will he do now? He thinks he's bowled 2 good dot balls. Will he attempt the same thing, or will this one be back a fuller length? Let's have a little look. It's a fuller length, and it is just right in the slot. Turned into a half volley, and that has disappeared towards the beach. That's probably landed in someone's picnic. It is Fiesta weekend here in Alfas Del P. And there'll be families out enjoying the sunshine, and suddenly a cricket ball has appeared in the middle of someone's picnic somewhere.
Hey, is somebody gonna...
We'll need another ball. It's, I'm told, in the duck pond. Another ball comes in. Walker must be feeling extremely wronged now. He thinks he bowled 2 good dot balls. He went to a fuller, straighter length to keep the umpire happy. But it also kept the batsman very happy indeed, because it just turned into a half volley outside off stump. What you going to do, Darren? Full toss. Doesn't really get punished, gets pushed to mid-on. The man from mid-off runs round and fields, as on the leg side, the fielder there is right back on the boundary. The fielder, just trying to identify the fielder there. We'll come back to that. Oh. Now, was that a chance? Walker went up. but it was put down behind the stumps. Yesterday Jack Perman was keeping. This looks to be Ian Byrne behind the stumps today. He's an enthusiastic, energetic keeper. Likes to fling himself around. That is 6 more. Yep, exactly where Billabelle would have liked that. Straight back over the bowler's head. Yeah, the boundary fielders are at long on and mid wicket, but regardless of where they were, they wouldn't have got to that one. There's a big shout, and I don't think Walker spent very long looking at the umpire for that one, because he obviously thinks the umpire is his sworn enemy, having given those 2 wides earlier on in the over. So Quinn comes back on. After the good start for Alfas, that was not the over they really wanted. Hang on, they got 4 on the boundary. There's lots of people shouting. They've got too many boundary fielders, I think. 1, 2. Oh no, we've finished the power play, haven't we? Yes, we have. But they still need to bring one up. That's it. They had too many back. The batsmen are pushing for 2. Oh, and they will. There's a misfield. And it's, yeah, that fine bowling performance of the first couple of overs seems to have slipped away a little bit. Walker's over went for a few. Not that he bowled badly at all. And then there's been a couple of misfields now. That's much better. Just digs it in. Batsman cramped for room and just pushes it out into the covers. Batsman come through for a single, which brings the big hitting Khan down onto strike. A little chip, really, just into the leg side, just a single, and again, scrappy fielding. The throw misses the keeper, but there are men backing up, so just a single. So Billowell goes on to 16 off 8. Jahinga Hassan gives Quinny the charge, but plays and misses. Gets a little bit of barracking from some of the Alfas supporters. Somebody shouted, "Get back in your crease." The back of a photographer's head now is the picture that you've got at home. Absolutely, it's all right. I see he gets his picture as long as we don't. There we go. No, he's very sorry. He didn't realise. He's a lovely man. He's smiling and waving. But was about to be wrestled to the ground by Egan. Between you and me, I wonder if he knows, that photographer, just quite how much hair he's losing. Because we had a very, very good view of the top of his head then, and he's thinning a bit. It's overheard me now. Meanwhile, back at the cricket, end of the over. Another good one from a Badalona point of view. Four overs gone. 35 for 2. Quinn's figures not bad at all. 2 overs, 1 wicket for 11 runs. And that again was in Bilawal's slot, so to speak. I know that sounds unpleasant and medical, but you know what I mean. And he fetched that from outside off stump over the mid-wicket boundary, 6 runs. And he has forced that out over extra cover. That is a nice shot. He does prefer the shots either straight or to the leg side, but that was there. I was about to say, where do you bowl to him? And you bowl to him where Walker was trying to bowl to him, which is back of the length on the offside. But he proved he has got shots on the offside there. Dropped in short, and that is going to be 4 more. Right between the 2 fielders. That is perfectly placed. And the big man is filling his boots. Furkan is not enjoying bowling this over. Three balls has he bowled, and 3 times has the ball disappeared. The umpire callously destroying a leaf. That could well be a catch. That should have been a catch. Bilawal did not get hold of all of that, and it went through the hands of the man who is on the mid-wicket boundary. The only blessing for the man who misfielded that is he's standing right behind the tree that stands within the boundary there, so I can't actually identify who it was that put that down. For which he can count himself to be very lucky, otherwise I would point fingers and blame the guilty people. But it means Furkan's troubles continue, and that's about as bad a ball as you want to see, just a long op really. And Bilawal says, yeah, I'll have a few more of those please, if I may. It has been a difficult over, 24 from it by my reckoning. And we haven't finished yet. He's going to take a wicket with the last one. Oh, well, I think that just sums up the over, doesn't it? Bilawal completely mishit that, just sliced it into the air, and bowler and extra cover between them couldn't decide who it was, and it just falls tamely between them. And a horrible over for Furkan ends. I'm not going to say any more about it, apart from the fact that it went for 25 runs. Ouch. Bit of sip on me tea while I consider that. Now this looks to be Jack Perman coming on. Right arm, wrist spin normally, is what you'll see. Gives it a right old rip. He's got long levers. Tall, wiry young man. And so this should be turning away from the right-handed batsman. And it does, it squirts out really on the offside just for a single. Perman ready to bowl again straight away. In he comes. Over comes the arm. He's given that one a lot of flight and it's a no ball that's actually off the cut bit, or off the non-cut bit really, isn't it? It's off the artificial bit onto the turf. It's a no ball, which means not only does one go to the total, but it's a free hit, which he's bowling from round the wicket, and rather baseball style, gone straight into the catcher's mitt, and he's got away with that dot ball. The batsman is saying, I wasn't even ready. That was either canny cricket or... I'll come back to it in a second. That was very canny cricket by Perman. He didn't give the batsman at all any time to settle when bowling the dot ball. Did he actually give the batsman enough time to be notified that it was coming round the wicket? I don't know. Very canny cricket anyway. There's a question for you at home, since I don't know the answer. You can't change the field when it's a free hit. Was the bowler actually allowed to change from bowling over to bowling round? There you go. Tell me if you know. That's a good ball. Chance of a run out, and the man standing directly in line, that extra cover, is saying that's definitely out. The umpire saying it's definitely in. I think the man standing at extra cover is Walker, who already feels pained by the umpires. I might be wrong. Lot of flight there from Perman. Gets away with it rather, because it was over pitched. And it's just a single. Yeah, a lot going on in this, but he's getting through it quickly despite the no ball. He's rushing through this over. Oh, it loses his run up. That's a full toss. Not a clean connection. If it had been, it might have been caught by one of the boundary fielders out there, but as it is, it falls safely into extra cover. And that is the over. Quite a bit went on in there. A good over in the context of what had gone before, the previous over having gone for 25 runs. So the bowler now is Waka. Waka scurries in very quickly on his little legs. The arm goes over quickly, except for the worst disguised slower ball on the Costas. We're bound to get at least one of those in the over. You can actually hear the screech of brakes as he slows down to deliver the slower ball. But he's lovely, one of the nicest men you could meet on the cricket circuit. And was there a bat on that, or was that leg by? They're running for two. Very energetically fielded. It was bat. The umpire hasn't indicated leg by. I'm quite a distance away from the action here. You might well have had a much better view of that and think, what am I talking about? If you think, what am I talking about, imagine what it's like for me living in this head. Waka drops it in a bit shorter, spooned up into the covers and caught at cover point. Good bowling. And the pendulum swings ever so slightly back towards Alfas. The game looked to be getting away from them when we had that very expensive over from Furkan. And prior to that, Walker had gone for the big six, hadn't he? But, yeah, Alfas clawing it back, bit of control. Total is 70. As we're saying, the total 70 for 3. We are in the 7th over. Currently going along just a tiny bit above 11 and over. Waka is ready to bowl. The batsman takes his stance, he's ready to face. I'll give you the batsman's name just as soon as I have it. Waka strays onto his leg. The man at long leg, which I think is Ahmad, down there, makes a little bit of a meal at the fielding, and it's gone over the boundary. He's cross with himself, as well he might be. Then comes Whacker again. Oh, that's unfortunate. He put a bit more spite and venom into that, dug it in just a little bit shorter, and the keeper is not the tallest of men. Ian Byrne is an athletic chap, but he's not the tallest of men, and it flew over his head. And a couple of expensive balls then from Whacker. Only one of which will go against his analysis, but both obviously will go against the team. And after that wicket, he hasn't really confirmed his advantage. There's that poorly disguised slower ball, as I said, and that has gone for 6 back over his head. So after the wicket, we've had 4 runs on a misfield, we've had 4 byes, and we've had 6 off a slower ball. And they often say that the best way to slow down scoring in these very short formats of the game is to take wickets. The complete opposite has proved to be the case. That's a much, much better ball. Just fires that one in at the batsman's feet. That's a dot. It's the end of an over of mixed fortunes for both sides. There was the 1 wicket, but 3 times the ball crossed the boundary. This will be a good game. This will be a good game. Alfas have got batting right the way down the order. They can chase big totals. And with 3 overs to go and score already on 84, they're going to have a few to chase. Just looks like Sunderland coming back on, is it? Bowled the first over, went for 9 of the first over, but it was in a power play when he only had the 2 boundary fielders. He now has the boundary protected at long off, long on mid wicket, and also on the extra cover boundary. That's not the cleanest of connections, and it's just a single out to mid wicket. The man from long on comes in and fields that. Just a single.
Graham available for selection.
That's a nice ball. Dot ball. We haven't seen many of them recently, have we?
Then I'm your captain, yeah?
Cheers, Goldie.
Sunderland quite a long run up, probably the longest in this Sporting Alfas unit. In he comes. It's a casual first few paces, and then he accelerates towards the wicket, overcomes the arm, and he's pushed it down the leg side, and that is a great stop by Byrne, the wicket keeper. That could easily have gone for 5 wides. As it is, it's just the 1. Excellent wicket keeping. Again, slowly he comes and then suddenly speeds up as he reaches. That is just a lovely, lovely shot. A genuine shot. Beautifully right over the extra cover boundary. Tasty. If I were a batsman, I would be ripping that off of YouTube later on and putting that on my show reel. Oh, that has been spooned right into that. That's right over my head. For a second, I thought that was coming into the commentary position, but it actually passed a good, I don't know, 15 metres over our head. And has it gone into the road? It might well have gone into the road behind us. It was enormous. It wasn't really bludgeoned, it was timed beautifully. And so the punishment continues. It is going to be a big old chase for Alfas. Naeem Hussain Akhtar is the batsman. I don't think I'd given him a name check since he's been at the crease. He's not been here long and he's already... Is that 16 he's on? He's got a thick outside edge and that one runs away as well. He'll take those. Not as stylish as the other shots he's played. Not in control of that, but fortune favours the brave. And Sunderland, having gone for 9 in his first over, I think now has gone, I'm guessing, but has he gone for 20 now? I don't know. That's a better ball. Just good line and length. And the batsman has a little swish at it. That is the over. Another one that you would certainly put down as a win for Badalona, that over. Walker is coming back on to bowl. He had interesting difference of opinion on a couple of balls earlier with the umpire. I'm not saying he showed dissent, I'm just showing that he was frustrated that a couple of dot balls were given as wides. And Walker has changed his action completely. Earlier he was coming in off a longer run up and dropping it in short. He is now bowling spin and he's taken a wicket with it. There we go. He has taken a wicket with it. The big hit in Bilal Khan didn't time that at all. Lofted it up and it's taken comfortably at long on. And well done Walker, that's good cricket. I don't know what he's bowling now. I can't pick that out the hand at this distance. I couldn't pick it out the hand if I was standing right behind him, to be fair. But yeah, that change in style has brought rewards. And a little bit of welcome respite from the punishment that the other Alfas bowlers have recently been suffering. Is this Dilawar coming to the crease? They are blessed with an almost continuous supply of Khans, powerfully built Khans of Badalona. There is a fourth brother, I believe, who's tiny and slim, whose name escapes me. I met him in Barcelona a couple of years ago, and he looks nothing like the rest of them. Maybe he does by now, it was a couple of years ago. Maybe they've had him on a course of pies. Yeah, and Delaware says, I'll come in and score 4 straight away. The fielding was half-hearted at mid-wicket. There was a foot put out, a bit like 1950s fielding, as opposed to a dive that is more familiar to us in limited overs cricket these days. I'll say no more about the fielding. Walker's dropped that in short, and it's gone up in the air, and it's dropped just short of the man who was sprinting in from deep backward square leg. Certainly Walker won the battle on that ball. He mystified the batsman. And he fires that one in. He's a competitor, is Walker, isn't he? He's a competitor. Everything he does is done with a certain amount of oomph. When he bats as well, left-hand batsman with a bat that is the size of a tree trunk. Everything he does is with a certain amount of venom, and he pushes that one in short, dot ball, end of the over, marches back to his mark. Nine overs gone now, 6 balls to come, and those 6 balls are going to be delivered by Jack Perman.
He should just switch to spin. He should just switch to spin.
Oh, Perman is keen to come in. Bowls a full toss and gets away with it. Miss hit out to mid-wicket. The throw goes into the keeper. It's back to Perman, and Perman will get back to his mark very quickly as he does, and then just turn and bowl. He doesn't like the batsman to settle at all. Oh, he's coming round. He's coming round. That's well bowled. Well bowled. You notice the big cocking of the wrist there. Puts an awful lot of revs on it. And that might well be big enough. Yep. On another ground you would have said well bowled for a leg spinner, because there was a lot of height on that and the man on the boundary would have pouched that. But on this ground, which is the one we're playing on, believe it or not, that was 6 runs. Be a gentle sink. Oh! I don't know if you caught that on camera. It happened right in front of us. As I'm saying, that would just be a gentle single. The ball took a hop on a bounce and went between the fielder's legs at long on. There was no hint of long barrier. He was trying to pick it up on the run. Oh, Perman has tried a little floaty delivery which has come out the hand wrong. It's landed on the grass. He's given a free hit away. And has he got away, I think, with just a single on the free hit, as he did when he gave away a free hit in his previous over. But it's a somewhat ragged bowling performance from Alfas. We've seen them bowl better, we've seen them bowl tighter, we've certainly seen them field a lot better than this. I think ragged is the adjective I'm going for. Another full toss from Perman, is going to take a wicket with it. There we go. Nope, finds the gap. 3 men converging on it, but no one gets there. Bowling for runouts, and still nothing there as well. Well, it's all a bit messy, isn't it? That's the end of the over, it's the end of the innings, and there are lowered heads, despondent heads from Alfas. Perman doesn't look too pleased with proceedings. He's not a man that radiates joy at the best of times, but at the moment is looking a bit put upon. Yeah, they're trudging off, trudging. But there are batsmen, they bat all the way down, they bite right the way down into the tail, and it'll be a good chase. I don't know who's captaining. Is Walker captaining? Because obviously Pennick isn't playing in this match, who's the club captain. Christian Munoz Mills is off on international duty, so I believe Darren Walker is skippering. Because he certainly shouted ahead as the players were coming off, "Put 'em on, Jack," so we know one of the openers will be Perman. will take a little break between innings so I can slurp my tea without annoying you lot, and then I will be back to see how Alfas get on chasing this total of 123.44 put on by Badalona. So the Alfas batsmen are out, the umpires are wandering out, just looking down that card from the first innings, and how Alfas failed to capitalise on the early part of the innings. Let's remind ourselves that both openers, Baba Khan and Malik Rahman, were dismissed without scoring, and to then let Badalona feast on bowling that took them to 122 is not what I would call making the most of a good start. But Badalona have got big hitters, and sure enough, Bilawal came in, hit 47 off 21 balls, Naeem Akhtar 31 off 14, and at the tail there it just wagged a little bit with Dilawar Khan. I wouldn't necessarily, it's the tail, he just came in at the end of the innings. 14 runs off just 6 deliveries. Alfas are going to have a few big hits themselves, and certainly they've got a couple of big hitters out there to start the innings. No more so than facing the first ball will be Jack Perman, who we saw him bowling his leg spin. We're now going to see what he can do with perhaps what is his first skill, his main skill, which is his batting, big hitting batting. First ball is a bouncer, goes flying past his ear. It's a wide. They also run. Also has injured the keeper, who is doing that shaking thing, as if shaking can actually shake pain away from the body. Does it actually work? All keepers do it when they take one on the end of the finger, though, don't they? So we have not yet had a legal delivery. The score is on 2. So at this run rate, Sporting Alfas are going to walk it. Gosh, it's a simple game, isn't it? Shakil takes his guard. He's in no rush. Puts the chalk back behind the stumps. Takes his time to put his gloves on. Has a little squat, has a little wander, has a little fiddle. Has another little squat. Has a little stretch. In your own time, love. That's dug in as well, and that is a very good ball. Good ball in any type of cricket, that, just back of a length. No room for the batsman to do anything with it. Goes through to the keeper. Good ball. Nice thick edge over the slips. Alfas will take the runs however they come. Shakil will be very happy with that.
Richie.
Things are going very slowly, aren't there? There's a lot of time between each ball so far. Dug in, down the leg side, another wide. It's well taken by the keeper. But there's no real urgency to get the ball back to the bowler. Bowler ambles back to his mark. We've got 5 games to cram in today, fellas. That's dug in as well. A wild swish, the ball goes past Shakil's head, and the keeper takes it. So what are you thinking if you're Shakil? You've been beaten by a couple of shorter ones. Are you expecting another short one? Is he going to shuffle across? Is he going to... He stands and delivers. He was expecting that. And he won the mental battle there, I think. Didn't overthink it. Expected the short one again. And just rocked back. 6 runs over long leg. Very nice indeed. And that could be another 4. There's nobody out on the boundary at mid-wicket in the power play. And Shakil says, I'll have that one. as opposed to the rather threatening and intimidating short stuff that has come before. That was just a genuine long hop that any batsman worth his salt would have feasted on, and Shaquille does exactly that. And that could be a wide as well. It's November, isn't it? It's Movember. It's the month where people grow moustaches. I was just thinking if I'd started to grow a moustache at the start of this over, I'd probably have something quite nice and bushy already coming up. Seems to be going on for a very long time. That is edged, spooned, top edged, something over the keeper's head. There were 2 runs. Shaquille wanted 3, but Perman was trotting, and there's now an argument between the 2 batsmen. Just a disagreement, not an argument. Oh no, it's a proper argument. There was a bit of edge to that fist bump as the batsmen passed each other. Shaquille thinking there should have been 3 runs there. He wanted to keep the strike, but no, Perman ran 2. To be fair, who can run 3? You've got to be a super athlete to run 3 times up and down a pitch, haven't you? So, Perman will face. Pushes one out. It's a backward point, and Shaquille has got the strike that he wanted anyway. I've been remiss in not giving bowlers names, haven't I? Yeah, Malik Sami Ureyman. Is this Matty or Sammy?
Matty.
This is Matty, yep. The youngster. Oh, Shaquille swings himself off his feet. He does run the first one very quickly, doesn't he? He again ran that a lot quicker than Perman was prepared to. Perman's got the strike. Badalona have obviously decided that short stuff is the way to go. For those that don't know the track here at Sporting Alfas, it's a slow high bounce, a tennis ball type of bounce on this track. Having said that, one right up there in the block hole, and it's just pushed into the covers. And there is no run. In comes Matty again. Strays onto leg stump and is helped over the head of the man at 45 by Perman for 4 runs. Very nice shot. Oh, and finally, finally, Perman gets one where he wants it, and that has gone many a mile. And lovely wristy adjustment again during the shot, beautiful to see. And that's what he does so well. He's got such fast hands and eye coordination. 6 runs. We're still in power play, so only 2 men on the boundary, but you could have had the entire team on the boundary from that and they wouldn't have had a chance. So, Alfas well up with the run rate so far. They need 12.5 and over, or they needed 12.5 at the start, and they're going at 16. The target is, I am told, 125. I think I might have told you 123 earlier, or I might not have told you at all. Small discrepancy between the two scoreboards. And Shaquille attempts to match the big hooking Perman, but just squirts one out. I just stopped talking while all the action's happening. Look at that, it's coming and going. So Adil is the bowler. Got a whippy action. The arm comes over very quickly. That is, I thought, great running, but as it turns out, too optimistic. Again, those two batsmen were not on the same page in terms of running. They'd already had a couple of disagreements. And Perman is livid with his partner, but it is Perman who will have to come back. No one likes getting run out. No one likes getting out, do they? But run out. What a way to go out. So a stroke of luck. It was good fielding, but a stroke of luck for Badalona. The bowlers were being put to the sword, and Alfas conspired between themselves to actually give them a wicket there. Yep, the bat was thrown. I was waiting to see if the bat would be thrown, and the bat was indeed thrown. Under that lid there, is that Furkan under the lid? Egan next to me nods. Well, a little bit of silliness there from Alfas. They were progressing very nicely, and that is slightly silly. Oh, there's another risky run, but the throw wasn't accurate. The Glacier players have just turned up and they've all limboed under the line of the camera, some more effectively than others. That is a lovely, lovely shot. Puts his front foot down the wicket and powers it over the boundary rope. 6 runs over extra cover. That was nice. Very nice. Adil Bibi, the bowler, as I say. Put that one exactly where Furkan wanted it. Furkan not allowing himself to be rushed, just adjusting all his equipment. Come on then, let's have another one, he says. Put one there. Put another one there. Well, almost inevitably, having been thumped for 6 off a fuller ball, that was a shorter ball. And despite that, Furkan might have been expecting it, he couldn't get onto it. He goes back to bowling Fuller outside off, but it's a long way outside off. One more to the total. That's dug in. Oh! Dug in, surprised the batsman, but all he could do was spoon it up to mid-wicket, and the easiest of catches goes down. It's one to the total. That could be crucial. Yeah. So 3 overs gone. And a fourth bowler now being brought into the attack. The previous three, Sammy went for 20 off his first over, Matty went for 12, and Adil went for 12 off that one. Power play is now over. Alfas are up with the rate. They're 1 wicket down. That was the wicket of Perman run out. They're 2 wickets down. And Furkan has come and gone. Played a couple of lusty blows in there, 1 big 6. But he's on his way back. It's a good chase. We suspected halfway through the Badalona innings that there'd be quite a few to chase.
Can we allow the substitute fielder? I got injured playing yesterday.
Egan, who's running all the technical side of things, is also answering questions from some of the sides about their squads and things. He's a multitasker, whereas I'm just sat here in the sun calling the action. Jahinga Hassan is the bowler who took that wicket. Evenly poised we are in the 4th over of this 8th match of finals weekend, and that is a bit of a pie, too short, helped round the corner, 4 runs. The experienced, wise old head of Gary Crompton is the batsman who helped himself there. He's come in to play some genuine shots. That was a lovely wristy chop down to third man, 4 runs. A nice genuine traditional cricket shot. There's still a room for them, still a place for them, even in these 10 over bish bash bosh matches. Not everything needs to be fetched over the mid-wicket boundary. Once again plays an authentic cut shot. There is a man sweeping out there on the boundary. Shakil is determined to run out another partner, and Crompton just gives him a withering glare, and it stays at a single. And Shakil has played all round a straight one. A little bit overexcited then, that wasn't necessarily needed. Another wicket certainly wasn't needed at that stage. Crompton was going to come in and start scoring runs straight from the off anyway. Shakil could have played a little bit more sensible. Perhaps a hot-headed innings all round in that he's running There's a difference, there's a fine line between being busy in your running and being so busy in your running that it unsettles you and your partner. I'll let you lot decide which side of that he fell today. Anyway, but a good little knock. 18 runs off of 10 balls, which is about the rate that was needed. Nukal is the new batsman. And Jahangir Hassan loses his run up, starts again. Just back of a length, pushed out to point. Again, a real risky run. It was fielded cleanly. Alfas obviously determined today to take every run that is there. But they don't really want another run out at this stage. And even though it was Shakil that was involved in the run out and he's gone now, the running there seemed a little bit hot-headed. Anyway, no point in dwelling too long on that. 4 overs have gone. The score is 54. And we are still poised. But 3 wickets down after 4 overs. Alfas perhaps wouldn't have wanted to lose that many. Oh dear. I'm saying nothing, but again, crazy risky run. If that had been a direct hit, Crompton would have been on his way back as well. So Baba Khan is the bowler. Bit of risky spin. It looked for a moment as if the 2 fielders on the boundary there were going to leave that for each other, but they did field it in the end. 2 more to the total. That's a nice shot, straight down the ground, but there is a very straight long off, so it's just a single. Crompton's down on strike now. You might have seen him there, he's just shielding his eyes against the sun. The sun is very low. We've got November sunshine, obviously, and it at the moment is right behind the bowler's arm. Oh, he goes for a big heave, which he totally fails to get hold of. And the keeper can trot out towards square leg and just field that for a single. That's a nice shot again, very straight. A little misfield on the boundary, but there was a long barrier behind it as per the textbook, and consequently just 2 runs. The despondent and slightly cross figure of Jack Perman just walks past, as well he might after that run out. And Crompton has gone to the most casual catch. Beautifully taken on the boundary. I can't identify the chap from here, but it was a ball that needed hitting. Hit it he did, and he hit it straight to the man on the boundary who took it with no fuss whatsoever. And I wouldn't say the wheels are coming off of this Alfas reply, because they're up with the rate, but they are half working through some batsmen. 4 down now in the 5th over. I mentioned at the start of the reply that they do bat all the way down. It looks like they're going to have to today. I suspect they will be ruining Perman's run out at the end of this innings. I don't want to be negative, being an Alfas man myself, but we shall see. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Just a single. So Quinn is the new man. So just looking down the card, everybody's got in and got out so far. Perman 12 off 5 balls, Shaquille 18 off 10, Furkan 9 off 5, and Gary Crompton 10 off 5. But then they all contrived to get themselves out. And these two haven't had a lot of look at the strike so far. So Nukal has faced 6 balls and Quinn has just faced a single ball so far. Oh my lord, they're trying to construct another run out. The throw went to the wrong end. And all is well in the Alfas camp. 2 byes. 2 byes. So still right there on the rate, almost exactly up with the rate. Oh, there's a horrible full toss, almost a beamer, not sure what it was. The umpires are glancing at each other. But no, it was a legitimate ball, just not a good one. Quinn chops one down to the third man boundary. There is a very, very straight third man down there on the boundary. He's sort of second slip line down there on the boundary. He's as much a backstop as he is a third man. And that looked very wide, but the umpire says nothing wrong with that, calls over. And the game remains in the balance. We saw Alfas in a similar position their first match yesterday, where they were virtually up with the chase and then just one quiet over and they found themselves needing about 14 or 15 and then losing quite comfortably, if you can lose comfortably. So they don't need any quiet overs here. Bubba comes on for his second over, bowls it right up full length where it's driven out to the point boundary. Good running by Alfas, and it is 2 runs to Quinn. The rate is around about the 14. The required weight is about 14. So they're going to need at least a couple off each ball. That has been helped out, to the deep square leg boundary, where a very simple chance bounces off the chest of the fielder and down onto the green Alfas turf. Oh, stumping chance, and he's gone. Yep, the umpire says he's gone. A little bit of panic there. It's amazing how once the rate gets up above 12 that the batsmen think they've got to hit everything into the middle of next week. No time for the new batsmen to settle at all when they come in. So Nukal was out for 11 of 10 balls. Bubba pitches it right up. It's a very well run 2 runs. More than 2 needed per ball now. The fielder saying, can I come in? Bubba saying, no, stay on the boundary. And neither of these batsmen really have had a chance to get in, and mystified by the flight there was Raheel. Raheel has helped that airborne. He hasn't got hold of all of it, but it's into the gap and a well run too. It's going right down to the wire, this game. That is the over. Bubba's bowled it well. He's taken the wicket. And Bubba finishes with figures of 2 overs, 2 wickets, I believe for 16. Fourteen. So the rate has climbed again. And Alfas are going to need to score at over 16 and over in the last 3 overs. Good bouncer, great bouncer. Well directed. I think this is Sammy, is it?
Bibi.
Oh, sorry, yep. Adil Bibi. And we've seen Alfas do this yesterday in the chase. They're going to do it again. It would appear that they have what looks to be a very healthy chase, and then it all peters out. I'm saying that on the basis of a couple of dot balls, but that's a single. Wise Heads doesn't even go for the attempted run out. More than happy to let them have the single rather than risk 4 overthrows. Well, we're at that stage, are we? We are at that stage. We're up above 20 and over now. And in the space of a few balls, the game has slipped away from Alfas. Two more. How quickly a finely poised game can slip away in this 10 over format. It's a big hit, but it's possibly a case of too little too late. 6 runs, Quinn, over square leg. But he's going to need a good few more of those. It's the end of the over. There's only 12 more legitimate balls to come, and a considerable number of runs still required. 41, is it? It's high. It's not going to be caught. It's not. There is no way on earth he looked as if he was going to catch that. But it doesn't really matter. 1s and 2s do not matter at all now. That's 6 more. Seems to be something of a delay, and the delay is we don't have a cricket ball. Yep, umpires beckoning on a new ball. A few have gone in that pond today. But they've left themselves, I suspect, too much to do. Actually, the pond ball comes back on now, so we've got a selection of balls. We've got wet balls, dry balls. We do not have chocolate salty balls, so we don't have the full selection. Dug into the pitch, a swing and a miss, and it's all over, bar the shouting. Too many for Alfas to find. There's an old country song called Funny How Time Slips Away, or is it Paul Simon? I don't know. That looked a bit slingy, that ball. The umpire's saying it's a wide. A hint of odd arm in that. What am I saying? How dare I say that? That's another one that's been scooped into the air. It's almost like catching practice, and that one's put down again at deep square leg. Should have been a run out, but comedy fielding as well from throw came in at Yorker length to the keeper. But they can afford these mistakes now, Badalona, because they put a lot of runs on the board, and then they had a couple of tight overs where they shut Alfas out, and Alfas conspired with them to lose by running out their most powerful batsman. There we go. It's another one in the air. Let's see who can put this one down. That one's finally taken at extra cover. I think it's the end of the over as well, is it? I don't know, really. As an Alfas man, I've sort of, I'm shrugging my shoulders now saying, yeah, you can watch this bit on your own. I'm still here, I'm just not saying anything. Don't worry at home, I am still here. But what can you say? What can you say? Alfas do bat all the way down, but they haven't batted all the way down terribly sensibly at times. It's a big chase. My co-commentator Martin's just walking past. Say something of interest, because I've lost enthusiasm for this game because Alfas have let it slip, haven't they?
Yeah, pretty abject failure from Alfas, to be honest, Tim.
Abject.
Abject failure.
Yeah.
To actually chase down this tuck, but they've made and he's gone again.
He's gone again. Right, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. Doesn't that sum it up? Waka comes and goes. The red helmet on top of the blue. He looks like one of those motorcycle stunt riders that used to get in fairgrounds in the 1960s that used to run around the inside of a giant cylinder and defy gravity. But what he didn't look like was a batsman. He's a very accomplished batsman, but when you come in at a time like that, what you're going to do? It's been a stalwart of the Alfas bowling unit for quite a while now, but in the last couple of seasons his batting has come on in leaps and bounds. He is the genuine article as an all-rounder now, but he's trudging back. He couldn't really do anything at this late stage. I think that's Jake wandering out now to the middle. What does abject actually mean? I know we always say abject failure. I've never heard abject used except with failure. Could it be used with any other word? Oh, that's nice, isn't it? 6 runs. That is just going to be a single out to square leg, unless Alfas choose to run themselves out again. Just the single. Quinn takes himself up to 20 runs. He's done everything that he could have done going in this late stage. Sunderland swings and misses at it. That was there for hitting, but just did him for pace. Hey ho. Toe ended up to long off. I don't know if you can hear the sirens in the distance, that the emergency has been and gone and went. Nothing can save this patient now. Alfas, in this particular match, dead and buried. And a rather disappointing end to what could have been a very exciting chase. A couple of moments of madness from Alfas. They've now lost 2 games in this tournament that they might have on another day expected to win. Bearing in mind they are 3 players short because they've got players on international duty, but that is not anything other than an observation. It's not taking anything away from the opposition. Badalona came out, they batted well. They recovered from a very shaky start when they lost both their openers for nothing, and they put on an imposing total, 124 runs they put on the board, and Alfas were 20 short of them, or 21 short of them when they finished. Off everybody goes. The world continues to turn. More cricket almost immediately. I'm going to go silent for a few moments, but blessedly perhaps. And then I shall be back with the next match. Match 4 today, match 9 overall, which is Gracia against Granada. Gracia firm favourites for that.